All right, let's talk today about, is Facebook ads better than YouTube ads for getting coaching clients? My name is Jason Nyback. I spend about $1 million a year on Facebook ads to get coaching clients, and we coach coaching clients on how to get clients. So let's talk about this because a lot of coaches wonder, well, should I be using YouTube ads or should I be using Facebook ads? Which is better? What do I do? I don't know, especially once you start getting clients. This video is for established coaches who are already getting clients, not new coaches. So here's the thing you need to understand, that both can work, but in my experience and opinion, there's a very big difference, okay? What we found, and I'm just gonna go over the differences, okay? Facebook, what we found, let's talk about first things, targeting. On Facebook, we've experienced you can target extremely tight, okay? Now, we like to run ads around an audience size of about 1 million people. Now, you can do audiences through interest groups, meaning maybe you're a mindset coach and you're targeting followers of Tony Robbins. You can do that, okay, on Facebook. You can target Tony Robbins followers. And then you can narrow it by age, by gender, by relationship status. You can also narrow it. They've got some really good income qualifiers on Facebook. Super narrow, super tight, all right? And then you can run your ad to them. And it's quite simple. The testing is where the money is, but we'll get into that in a second. So that's the nice thing about Facebook ads. Also, Facebook has a huge history of people you're reaching. You gotta remember, a lot of people, especially 35 plus, been on Facebook a long time. Some of them 10, 15 years. Now, Facebook is collecting all that data. But you got to remember, every time people are clicking on ads and liking stuff and making posts and all that stuff, Facebook's logging all that. And they give it to advertisers so that they can create relevant ads, okay? And obviously it's anonymous and all that. And let's talk about YouTube for a second. In my experience, and now I started out using Google search when AdWords, when it started when I started back in 2003, 2004. So I've known these platforms for many years and spent a lot of money on both, okay? So the thing with YouTube ads is it's obviously video based. So people can watch a video and your ad comes in the middle of a video and lo and behold, you can get them to click on your video, okay? Pretty straightforward. The problem is the audience, okay? I've found that you need a lot bigger of an audience to use, and they're quite broad, and that's the bigger thing. Now, sure, you're targeting people who are researching on YouTube and stuff like that, but what I found is the audiences are really broad. YouTube changes a lot, and you need a big budget to start. On Facebook, you can still start if you're in a normal market, $10, $15 a day, and to at least get the thing making momentum and progress on Facebook ads. On YouTube ads, I found that you need a lot bigger budget, $100, $200 a day to just get started. The other thing that I found between the two differences is when you're actually trying to get clients, it's a lot easier to validate your funnel on Facebook ads versus it is on YouTube ads, because the audience, remember, is very big over there. I liken it to this. Facebook ads to me for getting coaching clients is like in your backyard, let's say you had a pond, and in that pond it was stocked full of fish, and you just went out there and you just had to figure out what the fish were biting that day, what hook they were biting, and so you would try a few different hooks and oh, boom, it worked, whatever hook worked, the cheese or the Cheetos or whatever it is, and they started biting and you're able to catch the fish. I liken Facebook more to you went out into the ocean in a boat, and you've got to actually find out where in the ocean these people are. And then once you find where in the ocean these people are, you now have to figure out how to get them, how to reel them in. And there's a lot more complexity in YouTube. So if you're still validating your funnel, I would not in a million years personally recommend YouTube at all. Not even remotely, okay? There's a lot of moving parts. More so that you got to remember with an ad. Anytime you get a video ad involved, it's going to be more complicated. Because with Facebook, it's a text-based ad, so it's literally we're testing the written word. Which paragraph works better? Does this hook work better? Does this angle work better on the ad? And we're testing that, right? On YouTube, you've got to test the copy, the written word, but it's in video form. So how does the video look? How am I presenting it? Is the background good? There's a lot more complications in that sense. So that's one of the biggest reasons why we say if you're starting out, or if you're, if you're not at scale and you haven't maxed out Facebook, go to Facebook. Now, why do we use Facebook over YouTube? Because we spend a lot of money. Like I said, we're going to spend, on average, we spend about $1 million a year. Now, let me talk about that. Before I get into it, why we use it, and even at our level of ad spend, make sure you hit the subscribe or hit the like button on this ad so we can get it out. The algorithms like it when you do that. And then the second thing we need you to do is hit the subscribe button wherever that is around here, so we can make sure you get more videos like this. Now, why do we use Facebook over YouTube? Here's the thing. We work with a very specific type of client. And that type of client is coaches and consultants who are already established, meaning they're already getting clients. So they know what they're doing, they know who they are, they know who their people are, and they're already making money. And what we've found is that that audience is way easier to find on Facebook ads versus YouTube ads. And the quality level for us has just been night and day. I was spending up to about $1,000 a day on YouTube ads, and we just found that we were missing out on so much potential increase on Facebook, and because it was just the other budget money we had on Facebook was completely outperforming YouTube ads. Now, here's the other thing you've got to remember before you get into it. It is almost impossible to master 2 traffic sources by yourself. Totally not something I would consider. It's like trying to master Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, okay, or something, or kickbox, cardio, or whatever it is, karate or something. To become a master at both at the exact same time is incredibly difficult, okay? So I personally would not recommend it. And so what we recommend to coaches who are, again, not at 100 or 200,000 a month yet is master Facebook, get it working so that you have somebody on your team doing it for you so that it's growing, the KPIs are working. For every dollar you spend on ads every month, you know what your ROI is. It's a machine and it's working. Your funnel's working. Everything's good. And then get somebody to do YouTube ads for you or somebody on your team or something like that. But to master 2 traffic sources at a high level is extremely complicated, okay? So that's my take on it. Now, a couple other things I got to understand. You need to understand, too, that the difference between the two targeting. If you're targeting a super tight audience, like we do, I've found that Facebook is a lot easier as well. But if you're targeting a really broad audience, I know people do have success with YouTube ads. So, for example, if you're just targeting people interested in losing weight or whatever, well, that could be okay if it's super broad. But still, I've found it to be really hard. So when does YouTube ads work in our experiences? So one of the ways that we've found YouTube ads to actually work pretty well is retargeting, all right? Now, what is retargeting or remarketing? When somebody hits your site, you can put, let's hypothetically say you were running Facebook ads, and everybody who hits your registration page, your lead magnet page or whatever, you can take on YouTube ads and put a piece of code on that page. And it's getting tracked by YouTube ads. So everybody who hits that page, they go from Facebook over to your site, hit the registration page. Guess what happens? They get pixeled by the code from YouTube, from your YouTube account. Now you're building an audience in YouTube. And then what you can do is all the people who didn't register for whatever it is you're offering, say a webinar, you can run an ad to just those people on YouTube. It's called a retargeting ad. Found it to be pretty successful because, look, people are over there. And it's really low risk, right? You're not going out into the ocean to find these people now. Now, these are people that you've already that have already hit your site, okay? They've already read your ad, hit your site, and now you're trying to reach them over on YouTube. That makes sense? And so it's going to be cheap because it's only so big. You can only, look, if you're only getting 100 people a day or 3,000 people a month to your registration page, and 2,700 of those don't register, so it's only an audience of 2,700 people, right? So it's not like you can spend a ton of money, a few bucks a day, $5 a day, something like that. The other thing you got to remember is frequency, okay? YouTube will last, I heard it might have changed, you can build an audience that goes out 540 days. Think about that stuff. Think about that. So what does that mean? That means you can create an audience of people who hit that registration page and didn't register, and you can build it for 540 days. Here's the problem with that. Do you think somebody 500 days from now still wants to register for your webinar? So you can just waste a lot of money running ads to people who don't even care about you. So it's best to bring that frequency down, maybe 30 to 60 days. So you don't want to just make everybody mad. So for the next year and a half, they're seeing your video on YouTube every time they go there. So that's what the differences are in my experience, in my opinion. Again, to recap, in my experience, my opinion, if you have a tighter marketing, you want a really good qualified person, start with Facebook. We spent a lot on Facebook, a tremendous amount of money on Facebook because we just found the targeting's better, it's easier to manage, and it just works better for us. So I hope that helps for you. Take care.